Hey, mate. Check out this deep dive into threat modeling for data flow diagrams, specifically focused on Microsoft Azure. Now, bear in mind, I'm going to keep this chat as natural and engaging as if we were at a coffee shop discussing this. Ready? Alright, grab your favorite beverage, let's chat. Threat modeling is essential, my friend, as it allows IT professionals to identify, communicate, and understand the potential threats to their applications. It's vital to the security of cloud deployments, particularly on platforms like Azure, where resources are continuously evolving. The goal here is simple: to make sure systems are secure from various threats, especially in the cloud, where resources can be vast and complex. When we talk about Azure, it offers a plethora of services. Let's say we are tackling Microsoft's Active Directory connectivity, for instance. Now, Active Directory serves as Microsoft's core identity management service and plays a significant part in any cloud deployment, more so when we consider threat modeling. Threat modeling for Active Directory involves the detailed understanding of how data propagates in our diagrams and the potential threats that it encounters. Speaking about the steps to implement threat modeling here in Azure, we start by getting familiar with the Microsoft Azure Threat Model Vulnerability Improvement methodology. It's a systematic approach to identifying, understanding, and prioritizing potential vulnerabilities in your Azure data flow diagrams. TMTI allows us to analyze the data flows and interactions between services, pinpointing areas where sensitive data might be exposed to potential threats. The first big step here is understanding the structure of your Azure environment. You know, the components in your deployment like virtual networks, blob storage, and even functions that all are included in your data flow diagrams. As you lay this out, try imagining how each part might attract threats and what data they touch. This initial mapping brings awareness and sets us on the right track. After mapping out these structures, we delve into the Microsoft Azure modeling platform. It's MAMP where we begin the actual modeling. You input your system components and data flow relationships, then we use the built-in visual aids to see the data journeying around. It allows us to identify and pinpoint where within our data flow diagram we have data flowing through areas that may be potential targets for threats. Let's say we identify an area that appears risky, one showing how our application programming interface data might be at risk. We might face a scenario where unauthorized users can access critical data. This calls for Azure threat modeling best practices. You see, using techniques like attack trees and attacker-driven modeling, we can envision probable attackers' motivations and capabilities. From here, we apply risk reduction tactics such as Azure Active Directory's role-based access control to mitigate risks. Now, when things go haywire, that's when monitoring and advanced troubleshooting come into play. Using tools like Azure Monitor, Log Analytics, you can set up alerts for anomalies within your data flows. Azure gives us a plethora of built-in threat detection tools as well, tools which, when wielded effectively, make sure we are not walking blind into potential pitfalls. Of course, nothing happens in a vacuum. Enterprise-grade threat modeling is no child's play. It needs regular upgrades, regular security patches, continuous monitoring, and constant refreshing of the threat models themselves. This isn't an activity you conduct once and forget about. It's a continuous cycle of assessment and improvement to ensure your systems are resilient and secure. It's always wise to remember that the threat landscape doesn't remain static. As such, staying abreast of the latest security research, threat intelligence reports, threat actors' tactics, and techniques is crucial. The Azure Threat Detection and Intelligence team continuously updates its information, providing a wealth of resources like the Microsoft Threat Intelligence Center for your knowledge arsenal. Let's not forget the importance of engaging in continuous learning. As it's said, staying ahead of the curve is key, ensuring you are updated with the newest security paradigms and techniques. There are loads of community discussion forums, security blogs, podcasts, webinars available constantly feeding the ever-updating knowledge. In conclusion, understanding threat modeling and its importance in cloud security is the first step. With this, mapping your Azure environment using threat modeling best practices can provide potential threats within your data flow diagram. But hey, remember, keeping things secure isn't a weekend job, it's a continuous cycle of monitoring, upgrades, and education. The world isn't safe from threats, so your vigilance shouldn't be. Want to dive deeper? Look no further, as there are plenty more resources out there. To learn more about threat modeling or anything else techy, feel free to hit subscribe to TechLab on YouTube. I'm sure you'd enjoy. And don't forget to visit neeraj.qzz.io for more valuable knowledge drops. Catch ya later. Cheers.